Raw took place in Brussels, Belgium, as WWE continues their European tour. It's worth noting that 20 years ago to this day is when John Cena first debuted his iconic My Time Is Now theme song, and I just thought, because it's the 20th anniversary of that song, what a way to put it to rest for now and introduce a new theme song for John Cena for the first time in 20 years. That did not happen, but we'll get to that later. So we started to show off with Raw with seeing all this great architecture of these buildings in Brussels. Just a beautiful city. As I said on the Friday review when it was in Barcelona, just beautiful European architecture. Who cannot love it? All this great art and all these monuments. It's really beautiful to look at because it's been around for so long. Anyway, and it gives the show an identity. I also have to say that the arena that they were in, it felt smaller. I'm not going to lie, the American arenas feel a lot bigger. That's absolutely true. I think it'll change once they get to the O2 in London, but the arena felt smaller, but it was more intimate, and it looked different. The building just looks different, it feels different. So we see Finn Balor, Braun Breaker, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair all arrived in Brussels for Raw tonight. Or actually, the show aired during the day where I'm from, but it was at night in Brussels. And I also wanted to mention, I like the new light up WrestleMania sign. They changed it. I'm not sure if it's just for Europe because the arenas are smaller. They're going with the smaller sign, and once they go back to the American arenas, they'll go back to the bigger sign. But you can tell it's different because there's an LED around the sign that like lights up around it. That did not happen before that, but maybe they'll go back to the old sign in the U.S. So the fans were super loud. They were super jacked. There was this wall of fans in the front row on the hard cam, holding up all these they're holding up paper with a color. So one to the left is black, to the center is gold, and to the right is red, and that's the Belgium flag. I thought that was actually a nice little bit the fans did. I wouldn't mind more fans doing that as they do international shows. So you have Corey Graves on tonight. He joins Michael Cole for commentary. I'm sure his wife isn't going to join him. I'm not sure we're going to see his wife in the WWE for very long because she thinks the company is sexist now. I don't know, Carmella. I actually, when she first announced it, I kind of felt bad for her because she didn't really get a chance to go out on her own terms. It's unfortunate, but most wrestlers end up like that way. I saw what happened to Alexa Bliss, her getting that big return. I kind of would like to see the same for Carmella, even though she's not as big of a star. I actually kind of sympathetic to her, but the way she's acted, I don't agree with her assessments about the company. And Corey Graves, I don't expect to see his wife at the Hall of Fame this year. I'll just say that. Anyway, he's with Michael Cole. It's been a while since he's been on Raw. Pat McAfee, I guess, didn't want to make the trip to Brussels, and maybe he's not going to come to Europe at all. I assume maybe he'll come to London in 2 weeks, but he might not just want to make the trip to Europe because he's too busy with his show. But eventually he'll be back. So we start with the video package of Cody Rhodes and John Cena. They're of course showing the Elimination Chamber. I mean, how many times have you seen the Chamber footage now? And it's only been 2 weeks. I've seen it like a million times. They're anticipating Cena's big return on Raw. And then he comes out to his theme song, My Time Is Now, dressed up in his old gear. The cap, the shirt, the jorts, the sneakers, all John Cena. He comes out and he's even has the Last Time Is Now towel that he always brings with him. Used to be the Never Give Up towel, and wow, that was it. That's his normal entrance. The fans, I thought, were just insane. I'm just going to go on and tell you everything I remembered. I can't, if I forget stuff, I apologize. I'm just going to go and speak from the heart, everything I remembered from this promo, because it's going to be very memorable. So the fans are booing like crazy. They chant, Cena sucks. John Cena sucks with the song first, and it's Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks. They also chanted You Sold Out. They chanted Fuck You Cena loudly at one point, and you can tell it was F you because Netflix was editing it out. So yeah, you figured out what they were saying. They were also chanting We Want Cody. They chanted for Cody when he came out. Every single thing you can think of, they just attack Cena with. They booed him like crazy. They hated him here. This was not a... Some people are thinking maybe the women or children are going to boo him and the men will cheer him. No, everyone hates him right now. He is the biggest heel in the company. It felt like 2006 John Cena heat, where people genuinely hated him at that time. I think later in the years, people didn't really hate him anymore. They just accepted him, but they were just going to boo him out of protest that they keep pushing him to the top. But they hated him here. And Cena goes off, and his reason for being upset is the fans were booing him for like the last 20 years. Here's the thing, John. He said 25 years. That's bullshit. And I know it's wrestling. We can't nitpick, but they didn't boo you for 25 years. They booed you really for about like 10 years. Then they cheered you. You barely got booed the last 10 years. Let's be honest. How many times has he been booed? In the last 4 or 5 years, he's been cheered unanimously. He goes out, it's 100-0 in favor of him. There's like no negative fans. Everyone cheers him wherever he goes. He hasn't been booed by the WWE fans in years. In years, they haven't booed John Cena. They love John Cena now. If he did this in 2015, that would have been great, because 2015 he was actually going to leave by then. Maybe like 2012, 2013 when he was shooting with The Rock. That's perfect. Now it's like, well, I mean, they cheer you anyway. I mean, they don't boo you anymore. Like, you're mad about something that's in the past, that's not currently happening anymore. And his whole reasoning is, you don't treat me like a person. You boo me. You disrespect me. I give everything to you, and this is how you repay me. And it's like, all right, this is fine. It's not the worst way to go. I can see like where he still feels that he feels betrayed by them. And I get that. It's almost like when The Rock turned heel, like in the 90s, when it was die, Rocky, die. You think I forgot about that? That's sort of what it was like in a way, but Cena's going off. And I have to say, when he was healing up, he was good. He was shitting on the fans, and he's really going after them, and he's saying how you treat me like I'm a toy. Cody's your new toy. You don't treat me like a person. He also brings up... well, he does a thing where he says the people who chant Cena sucks, he's mad at, but he's also mad at the people who chant let's go Cena, because you give him nothing. And then he even points out a fan in the front row, a little boy, kind of a chubby boy. It's going to be a meme, I think. And he's like decked out as John Cena. He has the Cena shirt and the Cena hat on, and Cena like he says something to him, and the kid looks really sad, this little Belgian kid. I just thought that was one of the funniest moments of the whole night. That actually got me to laugh a lot when I saw that moment. Even though it's probably a plant, because you can actually see the sticker still on his shirt. Cena just keeps going off. Another thing he said was he mentions how for 25 years... He kind of alludes to this, that he's given everything that he's had to sacrifice. I wish he would go more into that, because, he could have said that, he maybe didn't want to go too personal, but I don't have kids. I've given him a whole life to this. I kind of was expecting it, but he kind of alluded to how dedicated he was for 25 years. The thing is, he's really been dedicated for about... he was a top guy for 10 years. I don't know. I'm nitpicking, but it was good. It wasn't what I wanted, to be honest. I was expecting a little bit more. And the thing that was really annoying is we didn't get the explanation as to why he sold out to The Rock. We got the explanation that he turned on the fans because he's mad at them, because he never forgave him for all the booing they gave him for all those years. Fine. But he never gave us a reason why he sold out to The Rock. He doesn't need to sell it. The man's rich. He might not have as much wealth, I guess, as The Rock, but he's incredibly wealthy. He's probably the second wealthiest man in wrestling besides The Rock. I don't know why he needs to sell out. I kind of would like to hear more about that. And we haven't heard at all about The Rock at all. We haven't heard his name in a while. I'm waiting. Is he going to even show up before WrestleMania? I'm not sure. Anyway, eventually Cody Rhodes comes out. Fans love Cody Rhodes. He's getting cheered like crazy. Cody talks about how upset he is that this is what John Cena has become. He's saying he wants to face the John Cena that's on the t-shirt that Cena's wearing instead of this John Cena. He says that he's basically saying he's gonna beat John Cena, and John Cena's a whiny bitch. Fans cheer it. He drops the mic, and then Cena teases talking, but he walks away, and that's how the segment ended. The fans kept booing Cena. The fans were incredible here. I thought Cena did really well. I thought his delivery was good. There's even a funny line. I think I forgot to mention that he was the butt of a joke that he can't see me for 15 years. You see, the thing with him is he's unintentionally funny. It's hard for him to really get angry. I can kind of see why I didn't want to ever turn him heel in the first place. But yeah, overall, this was a very good segment. This was a big segment, and Cena was good. I wish the material he had, as far as reasoning, was more, and I wish we got more of an explanation why he turned heel in the first place. Anyway, that was basically what the show was. It can end the show now because that's all that really mattered. But we'll talk about what else happened, even though it was just a one-segment show. And everyone, I'm sure, who's heard me talk about this has already heard the segment. So they go and they show, they were showing highlights of Randy Savage and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat because they're going to have an Intercontinental title main event tonight. And the match they're showing is from WrestleMania 3. The first great match at a WrestleMania. We go to Penta and Ludwig Kaiser in a no DQ match. So Ludwig comes out first, and the fans, I think, thought it was Gunther, but they weren't into Ludwig, and he's German, and it's in Belgium. And I'm thinking, from what I know of Belgium, it's like there's the French part, there's the Dutch part, and there's the German part, and I guess they're probably closer to the French part. They weren't into Ludwig at all. They loved themselves some Penta. He was super over here. They did the chants, and I hate there was like no weapons here. There was chairs were used, but like barely. That was it. I was thinking we'd get some weapons, but maybe they've overkilled on weapons, especially when you consider the NXT match that was on last Tuesday. Anyway, it was okay. He beat Ludwig Kaiser, and he's interviewed. I think it's either by Jackie Radman or Kathy Kelly. I forget exactly which one. I think it was Jackie. I might be wrong. And she asks, "What's next?" I think it was Kathy Kelly actually. And it's what's next, and he says he wants an Intercontinental title next. We go backstage. You see Dakota Kai getting ready for a match with Ivy Nile. Io Sky, her best friend, dressed in all white tonight, is supporting her. She's cheering her on like a cheerleader. I love Io Sky. I think she's just so funny. Some of her facial expressions, she can be really entertaining. And there's just something really wholesome about her that I really like. And when you see Dakota Kai walking down the hallway, we see in the background Dominic Mysterio talking to Karrion Kross. We'll see what happens there. We go to a Judgment Day backstage segment. We see Dom is pissed off. Dom pisses off Finn because he says he wants to bring in Penta. And Finn's pissed off now, and it's obvious that they're going to turn on Finn because Dom was talking to Karrion Kross, who might come into Judgment Day. I don't know. I would have preferred Aleister Black, but we'll see what Black's going to do. Finn is just pissed off at Dom, and Liv is upset about it. She's with Raquel. They're standing there. They all look dejected at the way how mad Finn's at Dom right now. We have Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile. I'm happy Dakota Kai got the win. You had Chad Gable at ringside, and I think during the match you had American Alpha tried to interfere, and then you had Ray and Dragon Lee interfere on behalf of Dakota, and then they went back into the match. Dakota got the win. She beat Ivy Nile. Good. I'm happy she beat Ivy Nile. I really wish she beat Lyra Valkyria a few weeks ago, because I don't know what's going to happen with the women's U.S. title, because they're not going to be in Ireland for the European tour. They're going to be in Ireland for a show, but not for a live show. And I was thinking, wouldn't that be a perfect time? At least maybe they're in the UK, they're in England or Scotland, would be a good time to bring her back. Bring back a certain Irish woman to face the current Irish woman who is the current U.S. champion. And it would have been perfect today because it's St. Paddy's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Bring her back. Bring back Becky Lynch. But I don't know if Becky's going to be at WrestleMania this year. But if she's not, I hope Dakota maybe can get into a U.S. title women's match for WrestleMania. So you had the Io Sky Bianca Belair contract signing. Tried at first likes both of them, and I like the contrast because Io's dressed in all white and Bianca's dressed in all black. Bianca's like dressed up like she's like going to a courtroom. I thought that was actually pretty funny. That was actually a good touch. And by the way, Bianca, there was a wholesome video with her earlier today. There was a fan. She's walking down streets in Brussels, and she notices a fan's like wearing her shirt, and she surprises the fan, and right when the fan sees her, he immediately takes off his cap in a sign of respect, and they take a picture. And that was just a really funny it was a really nice moment that she gave that fan. I really liked that. Anyway, this segment, Io says she'll still be champion. Fans are really into Io, and they liked them both at first, but they really began to really get into Io during the segment. They're all Io Sky fans. Io Sky is super popular overseas. I remember in Puerto Rico for Backlash a couple years ago against Bianca, they loved Io Sky, and they love her here in Brussels. And she's more over with international fans than American fans, it seems like. And American fans do like her, too. But Bianca says she'll beat her, and the fans boo. And then Rhea Ripley comes out. Fans go nuts. She gets a huge pop, and it turns into a fight right away. Bianca gets into Rhea's face. They brawl. Rhea wants in the match, basically. She pushes Bianca onto the table. Io tries to get involved after she got slapped away with Bianca. But then Io gets hit, and she gets powerbombed. It's a weak-looking powerbomb by Rhea because the way she was dressed was hard to get her up. Maybe it was hard to grip her, and she's really tiny. I mean, Rhea Ripley's twice the size of Io Sky. But when she powerbombs her, she doesn't hit her with a lot of force, and Io just lands right on Bianca onto the table, and it doesn't break, even though it was obviously going to break on the segment. Rhea stands tall. She then grabs the contract, signs it. Kind of reminiscent to WrestleMania 20 when Shawn Michaels got into that triple threat match that involved Triple H for the World Heavyweight title. Kind of similar to that. So, backstage, Jey Uso is there. He's cutting a promo. And then he walks into Gunther. They're separated by security. Then we have Jey Uso and Austin Theory. Jay does the yeet, and it's in Brussels, so I guess they're more smart than others. I remember last year, I guess, in when Jay was in Scotland or he was in Paris, one of the times they used the Fireflies. Well, they brought the Fireflies back. That means the Fireflies are coming back every week now. Thank you, Brussels. It's been great, but man, why'd you have to bring back the fucking Fireflies? Anyway, Jay squashes him with a spear, and oh my god, the spear fucking sucks. Jey Uso fucking sucks. Jey Uso's not ready for this. He's not built for this. He does not belong in this match. He should not have won the Royal Rumble. I was someone who's not really criticizing Triple H and WWE as much for putting the Rumble, giving it to Jey Uso. But man, he has proven to be a bust. He sucks. Jey Uso sucks. He's not ready for this. He should not be in a world title match at WrestleMania. I get it, the World Heavyweight title is not the WWE title, but still, he does not belong here. He sucks. Jey Uso's horrible as in this position, because then he decides on the road to WrestleMania where you're challenging for a World Heavyweight title, let's fucking pull a Top Dollar. Top Dollar, remember him? Remember that fucking embarrassment when he went for that big dive over the top ropes and his feet got caught on the ropes? He landed on the apron. It was the most humiliating thing, and Michael Cole dragged him on commentary for 5 minutes after he just ripped on him. Michael Cole wasn't doing that to Jay this time, and I get it. Jay's probably cool. Top Dollar's a douchebag, but still, damn it, man, this is embarrassing. Gunther losing to this bum is bullshit. I think he's gonna lose right now. I really hope Triple H reconsiders. I don't give a shit what Rikishi says or what Jay says or someone in his family says. I don't give a fuck. This guy sucks. Fuck his yeet. Fuck this, man. Oh, anyway, I apologize for acting that way, but I'm just not a fan. Gunther put the sleeper hold on Jay. He came out. Jay fought him off, and I should have mentioned that the whole dive was he was going to do it onto A-Town down there, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, because they were on the outside, but his feet got tangled, and the stuff with Gunther happens. It was this repeat of last week, but Jay fought him off, and that's how the segment ended. Jey Uso sucks. So during the break, A-Town Under keeled on the crowd. The American Maid comes out for their match. Ripley's being yelled at backstage by Adam Pearce to give him the contract. She finally does. Then Bianca Belair jumps her, goes after her, is ready to fight, and she's getting the upper hand. But then Io Sky comes in. She pulls off Bianca. Then she starts hitting Rhea. Then Bianca pulls off Io. Rhea eventually sends Io into the wall or something, and then she sends Bianca into a production box, leaves them both laying on the floor on the concrete, setting up Rhea Ripley for her triple threat match, and she signed a contract already, so clearly it's a triple threat match. It's only a matter of when they officially announce her for the match, but it's obviously going to happen. American Made against LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. LWO gets the win. They had Gable beat him up after a match, hit 2 draping suplexes. Obviously it's him. They recap CM Punk and Seth Rollins from last week at the Garden in the Steel Cage. Then we have Seth Rollins out. The fans are singing his song, and they sing his song, and on and on and on. It was reminiscent of how they kept booing John Cena to start the show. They kept singing Seth Rollins' song. Oh, it went on for 3. It went on for the length of 3 segments, it felt like. Eventually, Seth talks, and when he talks, he says nothing. He says nothing. He just says, well, he's upset with what happened on Raw last week, and he's going to go to SmackDown on Friday to confront both Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And the fans were cheering for CM Punk. They were cheering the OTC for Roman Reigns, and they were singing Seth's song, but it's too bad that they don't get the real segment. I mean, you got John Cena this week, so you have to give Italy something. Belgium got Cena. I guess Italy gets Reigns and Punk and Seth. But still, the fans were upset Roman wasn't there. I was thinking, this is just the same shit that Paul Heyman did in Spain on SmackDown last Friday, where he just shows up for no reason. And I'm thinking to myself, why is he even here? Why? Oh, man. Anyway, this was nothing segment. The fans got to sing a song. They're setting up SmackDown. So they preview Monday Night Raw, which takes place in Glasgow, Scotland next week. Backstage, Kathy Kelly interviews AJ Styles. The fans sing the phenomenal song in French. I don't know. I have to look. What's the national language in Belgium? I'll look it up. That's what I thought. It's Dutch, French, and German. But I guess they were chanting. It's maybe Belgium. Sorry, Brussels is closer to the French part of Belgium because they were talking in French, or they were chanting in French. They were doing the whole "Il est phenomenal," he's phenomenal. That song they sing in France. At Backlash, they were doing it for AJ Styles. They were doing it again here, and AJ had a big smile on his face, so that's what they were doing. He's interrupted by Karrion Kross. He tries to give him advice. He tries to recruit him, and it's funny because Karrion Kross looks like AJ Styles did when he from a few years ago, because he has the same haircut, but he's just a foot taller. It was actually a funny visual in a way. So you have Braun Breaker walking into Penta backstage, and then you have Finn Balor. He's out. He cuts a promo how he wants to win the Intercontinental title because it's St. Patrick's Day, and the Irishman wants the Intercontinental title. He wants to win the IC title on St. Patty's Day. That would be good, right? Didn't get much luck here. So you have Braun Breaker and Finn Balor. The match ended with Dominic Mysterio coming in, messing up, costing Finn the match. So Braun Breaker retains. Judgment Day attacks Braun after the match. However, Penta makes a save, and then you have a stare down between Braun Breaker and Penta to end the show. And that's how Monday Night Raw ended in Brussels tonight. Today, it's still the day where I am from, but in the night in Brussels. So I have to say, the Cena stuff was really good. It wasn't great. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was had so much heat that it's a good segment because of that. Even though the content might have been the best, other than that, it was forgettable. But it was a 1-segment show. It was all about John Cena tonight, and that's what we got. So that's what we had with Raw. That's what we got in Belgium tonight. The first Raw ever, I think, broadcasted in Brussels, I would assume. And we'll see what happens as we continue the European tour on the road to WrestleMania.